8 billion people. There are more of us in this world right now than there ever have been. And as of last month, it was right here in the Philippines where we hit that momentous milestone. A baby girl born in Manila took us over the symbolic threshold and reminded us of the huge challenges we now face. We should all know by now that the most valuable commodity of the 21st century is data. And more specifically, it's your data. Who has it is to some extent up to you. You exchange it when you use services like social media or when you make purchases online. But there's someone else out there collecting that data as well. Governments. Now, it's not all nefarious conspiracy theory type stuff we're talking about here. Most of it is pretty innocent and is just a digital form of the sort of thing that has existed for years.
Your identifiers, which is your face, your fingerprint, your things that are given to you, inherently given to you. And then you attach credentials to those things. And so when you have both credentials, which are like driver's license, passport, and your identifiers, that combined creates your identity.
But as more of our lives move online, the data is proving a big challenge for governments, and places like the Philippines are starting to look at blockchain for answers. The Philippine government is in the middle of trying to roll out a hugely ambitious ID system. It started 4 years ago, but has faced big delays. After assuming office at the end of June, President Bongbong Marcos demanded 50 million IDs be issued in 2022. The country's statistics office has reportedly pointed to the difficulty of registering the sheer number of people in the country, some 75 million out of a population of 110 million. Speaking at Philippine Blockchain Week, Eman Navalan of local firm Tetrix says blockchain can help.
In times like these, when these physical cards are not rolling out as fast as we want it to be, these are options that we can look into, like having that in a digital format that is secure because of the Web3 technology. And time will tell. Time will come wherein you won't have any physical IDs anymore. It's all in the digital space, and it's all in cell phone.
Tetrix isn't the only one backing the idea of blockchain for digital ID here. Others, including blockchain startup Twala, have apparently been pitching the idea directly to the government. But whether or not blockchain would help governments roll out digital IDs, the big worry is how data is being used.
Some countries like South Korea are using a blockchain approach. Some other countries have not mentioned blockchain, and which means they could potentially be storing your data, and you wouldn't have access to it, you wouldn't have control, you wouldn't be able to delete it, you would not know how it's being used.
It's this sort of thing that especially concerns in places like China, where the state has already showed it's willing to use people's data against them. A New York Times investigation released in July claimed that Beijing wants a system, quote, which could ultimately help the government maintain its authoritarian rule.
If a government has this information and has your identity and holds it in a wallet, they could also decide to delete it or limit your access if they didn't like potentially your political affiliation.
At a time when calls for a greater pivot to DeFi are growing, Tetrix say they want individuals to take their data, not just their crypto, into their own hands.
Our solutions is different. It's not centralized. It's self-custodial, meaning you own it. And nobody has your password, your information about it, except for you. And of course, the issuing government agency, right? So that solves the problem. That's the importance of having a self-custodial wallet as opposed to a centralized one.
South Korea is one of the few countries that has said it's considering a blockchain approach for digital ID. But even that is raising concerns over how companies are being allowed access to user data.
What they're doing is making these mobile applications that are then managed either by the government or by a vendor. So, the vendor they're working with is Samsung for the mobile driver's license, which means where is my information going? Is it now going in an app?
Worries also exist about not giving people choices over this sort of move. Some have questioned whether Japan's plans for digital ID could lock people out of the healthcare system. While the world is becoming ever more advanced, blockchain is now at the front line of the battle for control of data.
I control my passport. I control my physical wallet. I have my health ID cards in my wallet. I can store them. I have my diploma. These basic ideas have now kind of been swept away in this move towards this digital ID. Those standards should remain no matter what. And technology should make them better, not worse.
Clara Sao of Filecoin recently told Forkast the world will need to store some 200 zettabytes of data by 2025. Regardless of how this data is being stored, however, it is ultimately what the data is used for that will matter. As we close out 2022, the conversations that are being had here in the Philippines and throughout crypto have never been more important. If you want to know what's happening and why, like and subscribe this video, follow Forkast for more information, and let us know what you think in the comments and on social media.